Hi, K-pop lovers. Welcome back to our channel. Before anything else, if you're new here, please subscribe, hit the like button, and turn on the notification bell right now. Seriously, do it before you forget. Because what we're about to break down today is something that the K-pop world has been watching happen in real time, and a lot of people still haven't fully processed it yet. Let's get into it. There is a moment, and every group has it, where one member shifts from talented member to the one everyone talks about. It's not always loud. It's not always a single performance or a single viral clip. But when it happens, you feel it. The energy changes. The conversations change. The internet tour at Kpop Dome in Seoul in front of a sold-out crowd. And during the solo segment of the show, while every member gets their own spotlight moment, Ahyeon steps forward alone on that massive stage and performs her live cover of Charlie Puth's Dangerously. And the reaction? The crowd completely lost it. Clips of that performance started spreading across every platform instantly: Twitter, TikTok, YouTube, Instagram, all within hours of the show ending. People who weren't even fans of BABYMONSTER were sharing it. That is the kind of moment that doesn't happen by accident. That is what pure, undeniable star power looks like when it meets a live audience. And here's what makes the Hello Monsters World Tour itself such a critical piece of this story, because this wasn't just a few concert dates. This tour spanned 32 dates across Asia and North America, and by the time the final curtain dropped in Seattle, the total attendance had reached 300,000 people. 300,000 people in stadiums and arenas across the world, all of whom saw Ahyeon own that stage. In Japan alone, all 100,000 initial tickets sold out immediately, and the demand was so overwhelming that restricted view seats were opened and additional shows were added, ultimately drawing 150,000 attendees across 10 Japan concerts, setting a record pace for any K-pop girl group. Every single night of that tour, in every single city, the Ahyeon solo segment was the one that went viral the next morning. You could almost set a clock to it. Now here's something that really seals it, and pay attention to these numbers, because they tell the whole story. When you look at the monthly popularity rankings for BABYMONSTER throughout 2025, one name kept appearing at the top, over and over again. September 2025, Ahyeon. October 2025, Ahyeon. November 2025, Ahyeon. December 2025, Ahyeon. For consecutive months as the most popular member in a group where literally every single member is talented, capable, and has a passionate fanbase. That is not luck. That is not a fluke. That is a pattern that tells you exactly where the gravitational center of BABYMONSTER is sitting. But wait, because we're not even at the biggest part yet. And if you've made it this far, you need to keep watching, because what happened at the 2025 Mama Awards and then going into early 2026 is what completely changed the conversation. At the 2025 Mama Awards, held in Hong Kong in November, BABYMONSTER performed and won the Fans' Choice Female Top 10 Award. But beyond the trophy, it was Ahyeon's presence at the ceremony, her stage presence, her look, her energy, that dominated the post-show conversations online. Clips and photos from that night circulated for days. Even the controversy around her outfit generated millions of impressions and proved one thing beyond any doubt: when Ahyeon is in the room, people cannot look away. Whether fans or critics, whether supporters or skeptics, everybody is watching her. That level of attention doesn't happen to people who are merely good. It happens to icons. Then, as 2025 turned into 2026, something interesting happened with a BABYMONSTER track called Really Like You. The song started circulating on short-form platforms, YouTube Shorts and TikTok, and the virality was almost entirely fan-driven. From January 11th to January 15th, 2026, the song topped YouTube's viral 50 music chart for 5 consecutive days. 5 consecutive days at number 1, driven purely by people discovering it organically and sharing it. And guess whose clips were leading that wave? The answer should not surprise you at this point. But here's where 2026 really delivers the final revelation, and this is the chapter that puts everything into perspective. On May 4, 2026, BABYMONSTER dropped their third mini-album, Choom, which means dance in Korean. And the numbers on release day were staggering: 387,871 copies sold on the very first day according to Ahyeon chart, breaking their own previous first-day sales record. The music video hit number 1 on YouTube's worldwide top trending music videos list. The album topped the iTunes Worldwide Album Chart and the European iTunes Album Chart simultaneously. And it reached number 1 on iTunes Top Albums charts in 15 different regions across the world. This is a group operating at a completely different level than they were even a year ago, and Ahyeon has been the constant thread running through all of it. During the Choom teaser rollout, Ahyeon was one of the members who commanded the most attention in the concept visuals. The bold, mugshot aesthetic that the group unveiled had fans and media going wild, and her individual visual photo generated enormous engagement the moment it dropped. By 2026, she has fully locked in her status as the primary vocal and visual face of BABYMONSTER's Monster concept, the one that YG's own dance trainer once described as someone who, when she stands in the center, everything clicks into place. And speaking of the Choom era, all 3 nights of BABYMONSTER's upcoming Seoul concert series sold out almost instantly after tickets went on sale in April 2026. 3 nights. Gone. With fans already going wild over Ahyeon's presence in the rehearsal content. During a live stream break, Ahyeon herself said they couldn't believe how fast all the seats disappeared and that they want to show the best version of themselves. That kind of genuine excitement, that kind of real connection between a performer and her audience, you cannot manufacture it. It has to be earned. Now here is what makes Ahyeon's story in 2025 and 2026 so compelling beyond just the numbers and the charts. It's the way she carries herself through all of it. She's 19 years old as of 2026. She's still technically in school. She navigated a world tour of 32 dates and 300,000 fans. She survived the scrutiny that comes with being the most watched member of the most watched YG girl group since Blackpink. She went viral for her performances, for her visuals, for every concert clip and fan cam. And through all of that, she kept delivering, on stage, in the studio, in the content, in the branding. Ahyeon is not a trending moment. She is a momentum that keeps building. The world tour is done. The records are broken. The new album is out and already at number 1 in 15 countries. And BABYMONSTER's second world tour, the Choom World Tour, is set to kick off June 26, 2026, in Seoul, with new destinations in South America, Europe, and Oceania added for the first time. Continents that have never seen BABYMONSTER live. Audiences that have been watching from a distance and are finally about to get their moment. When those crowds from Brazil to the UK to Australia see Ahyeon walk to center stage for the first time, they're going to understand exactly what we've been talking about this whole video. The exact moment Ahyeon took over BABYMONSTER wasn't one single second on a stage. It was a series of moments across 2025 and into 2026, each one confirming what the people paying attention already knew. She is the center. She is the face. She is the reason fancams go viral overnight and the reason arenas sell out in minutes. And the wildest part? She's 19. This is still just the beginning. That's our full breakdown for today. If this video gave you something to think about or you're a monsties who felt that in your soul, smash that like button, it genuinely helps this video reach more people. Drop a comment telling me your single favorite Ahyeon moment from 2025 or 2026, I read everything. And if you haven't subscribed yet, do it right now and turn on notifications so you never miss when we drop the next one. We'll see you very soon. Ahyeon.